Naldo, that Michael J. Fox is one crazy wolf. Some would even call him a lunatic. Let's start the show.
Jeez Louise.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of FYC Film Review. I'm your host, Ganya. With me, my partner, Naldo. And you got that right, because like
I got it.
moon and
No,
wolves,
I got
werewolves.
it.
Like,
I got it, man.
okay,
It's
just
it's been about a month, and your puns are still just as awful. So
it's
welcome
a little
back.
stale. It's a little stale. We'll get better.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, man?
Oh, back to the 80s we go, our
Yeah,
childhood.
absolutely. We went back to 1985. 1985. We pulled this little gem out of our hat, and this is Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox had a great year in 1985 with this and Back to the Future, by the way.
Yes, yes. The guy
Amazing.
was, no one was hotter, I think, than Michael J. Fox in like the early to mid 80s.
He's the best. He's the
Yeah.
best. He's awesome. He's still awesome. I love the
Have you
guy.
seen this movie before?
Yeah, I
Okay.
grew up with this movie. I grew up with this movie. And I don't think I should have been watching this as a kid. But then again, I probably should have been watching a lot of the 80 movies that I watched. So
It was
let's get
PG.
into it.
It was
Yeah,
PG.
but 80, we've talked about this.
Yes,
PG in the 80s meant anything could happen. So
that's true.
yeah. But this was a fun trip back to memory lane. I really like this movie. I don't say I love it, but it brought a lot of feelings back. And I think the movie holds up a little bit.
It does. I think I remembered probably about half of this movie. I can't tell you the last time I saw it, but I do remember
Mm,
it being one of those movies that was just on all the time, it felt like.
yeah.
And so you would just catch it, and like, who didn't want to be a cool werewolf in high school?
I know, right? A basketball player to boot too.
Yes, right?
This movie was just fun. It was a quick movie, an hour and 30-minute watch, I think, right?
Yep.
Not too long. And Michael J. Fox as the adorable teen wolf who goes through a transition phase. Most people go through puberty. He goes through a wolf phase. And it works. It's cheesy. I totally get it. It's cheesy. It's an 80s thing, but the formula just worked. And I think it works because of Michael J. Fox.
100%. You take him out of this movie, and it's something that just goes, straight to video, and
Yeah.
people laugh about. But for some reason, his charisma and charm just kind of resonate in this movie, and it's still kind of fun. It's what every high school movie I feel like made you want to, like, you wanted to ascend to high school, and it's probably because they were 20-year-olds playing high schoolers. I mean, that
I
Scott
know.
dude on the other team, it's like
Yeah.
40 years old, just chest hair just coming out, and full beard, and
Well,
he just
yeah.
shaved off.
According to he just got out of prison, so that's why he's still in high school, right?
That's right.
Stupid.
That's right. Yeah.
He's got a good cast around him though. It's a fun cast, kind of on unknowns, except for Chubby. I don't know what his name, but Chubby's been in a lot of movies before, like Pee Wee's Big Adventure. I'm sure he's in
Yes.
other movies
Yeah.
as well. But it's a
Francis.
fun cast, and Styles, his buddy, is just he's just a cheese ball, and it works. I don't know why. Boof works. Pamela works. His dad is like the ultimate 80s dad. Like I was looking at him, I'm like, oh, I kind of wish you were my dad for a little bit, you know?
Right?
He's
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
good dad. I don't know.
Are you a Booth guy or a Pamela guy?
Oh, don't put me on the spot, sir. Listen, can I say something about Booth? I have never met a more forward girl ever in my life. That girl was literally throwing herself at
Yes.
at
Yes.
Michael J. Fox. What's his name? Scott? Scott, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's throwing herself at him, and he's like, "Nope, I want Pamela." I get it though. I get it. Sometimes we want the ones that don't want us. It's weird. It's part of life. But then he realizes that Boof is the one. But again, Boof, way too forward. Play the game, Boof.
Maybe that's what it was, just too easy for, yeah, he was like,
Yeah,
I wanted the chase, and she was just all about him. But
yeah,
I'd have to say I was definitely a Booth guy. I was just like, dude, she's right there. Like,
I know.
again, that's
Yeah,
part of the movie. I get it. But the speaking of the 80s, man, this score,
yeah,
straight synthesizer magic. Like, oh my God.
yeah,
I was like, every time they just hit that note on the synthesizer, I was like, we are in the 80s. It's like a reminder every single time.
yeah. It worked.
But the motivational montage, dude, I'm in. Like, I was
That was
like,
good.
I
Yeah,
was singing the song, and I was like,
yeah.
let's go. I'm They're gonna
Yeah,
win
it's like
without him being a wolf.
I know, right? Yeah. I mean that's what it was, right? He found himself. Everybody wanted him to be the wolf, and then he was like, I'm gonna not be the wolf, and I'm gonna win this game. I'm gonna include my teammates. He found himself, and he realizes that hey, people like me for who I am, not for what I've been. There's the moral of the story. And I got one more gripe about this movie: the dog whistle scene in the hardware store when the little kid is blowing the whistle. How come the dad doesn't hear it?
Ooh, great. Maybe he's learned how to control that feeling.
That's what I thought too. Maybe he's learned how to like overcome those senses, those spidey senses.
This is why this movie works, man. Look at it. We've got an answer for everything. It doesn't matter. There's no
Yeah,
plot holes here. This is
yeah.
straight quality high schoolers drinking beer, getting the chicks you're
Ah,
trying to get, and just oh man.
I don't know, man. Those parties. I don't think I ever was invited to those crazy parties in high school. That was some crazy party going on with those high
I'm
school
convinced they
kids.
didn't happen. Maybe it wasn't that we weren't invited, but they weren't happening.
Okay, let's rate. You want to rate? Let's rate it.
Yes, yes. Are we doing what are boofs?
Let's go with Booths. Let's go with
Boofs.
Booths, right?
How
Because
many
she was the
boofs?
one, right?
She was the one.
Booths. Yeah, she was determined to get her man. Okay.
She
All right.
wins in the end too.
She does, yeah. One booth being really great, five booths being, or wait, one booth being really bad, five booths being really great. Sorry.
Yes.
All
Sorry,
right,
you
want
saying boofs.
I know.
Yeah.
Too many booths.
I will go first. I'm gonna give this a solid 2.5. I was way more
Oh,
impressed that I
okay.
still enjoyed it. You gotta love the 90-minute runtime. Michael J. Fox, I could watch him in any movie in the 80s.
Yeah.
For some reason, they all hit, and it's not just Back to the Future. He was such a good actor that he makes this enjoyable, and it's a cheesy 80s flick, but if you haven't seen it, I would say watch it. 2.5. Boofs.
Okay, so 2.5. Okay, that's a little low. I mean, 2.5 is
Ooh,
like a C minus, right? I mean, kind
okay.
of like that. Okay, but it's a
Yeah.
fun 2.5 for you, right? I get
Sure,
it.
sure.
I
I
totally get
get
it.
that it's not a great movie, but I have fun
Yeah.
with it.
Okay, all right. Listen, I get it. I get your 2.5, but I'm gonna raise you, and I'm gonna go 3 booths on this one. This
Ooh.
made it into the three rating, 3 booths for me. Like you said, this movie is made because of Michael J. Fox. You take Michael J. Fox out of this, again, it becomes some kind of 80s movie that people just forget about. Michael J. Fox steals the show, the way he acts, the way he just carries himself. It works, and I think it does hold up. Cringy moments, kind of weird moments, kind of like, yeah, but you know what? If you lived in this time and you saw it, you kind of get it. So I'm going with 3 booths. Booths got her man. So 3 booths.
Love it. And you know what? Shout out to the makeup department because he actually looks kind of good as a werewolf. Like
Yeah,
didn't look like poorly done. So you know what?
yeah.
I love it. If you haven't seen
It's
Teen Wolf, watch it. No, we're not talking about the MTV show. We're not talking about MTV
nah,
movie they did.
nah.
We're talking about the OG Michael J. Fox, the original MJ. Check it out, folks. Thanks for watching. I've been your host, Gagne, with me, my partner, Naldo, and we're FYC Film Review. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one, everybody.